You're probably wondering how decisions are made in big companies. And I want to share with you some of the experiences I've had to help you understand how decisions are made. Let's say you're applying for a job. Let's say you are selling a product. Let's say you're presenting a proposal to a large company. Very often, that decision is not going to be made by one person, but it's going to be made by several people. In fact, today, more often than not, it's going to be made by committee. They're going to be a group of people who are going to sit around and look at your proposal, your application, your idea, and they're going to make an assessment on whether they want to move forward. Now, one of the things you have to remember when you are dealing with large companies is that very often those decisions are not made logically. You might say, hey, I've got all of the details I need in order to make this thing happen. I've got all of the requirements. I've got the right idea. I've got a great opportunity to present. And you might think on the merit of your idea that it will be accepted. Now, sometimes that's the case, but many times it isn't the case because it all depends on what else they are doing. It all depends on who else is in that committee. It depends on what other opportunities they're looking at and considering. So you have to remember that when you are dealing with a group within a large corporation and you're wondering what factors will weigh into that decision, that there are many factors, including corporate politics. There might be someone who can sway other members of the group. There might be someone who has a particular point of view and everyone is responding to that person. There might be someone who's a little louder than other people and everyone wants to respond to that person's idea about how they can move forward. I've had many situations where I have presented before a large group and I've left the room and they've talked about it. And sometimes I've had people inside those organizations share with me the conversations that have taken place in my absence. More often than not, it has nothing to do with the merit of what I've presented. It has to do with whether or not they want to move forward for other reasons. So when you're trying to factor in how decisions are made, one tip here is to get to know the members of the committee. Get to know the people who are making those decisions. You might be able to have a greater impact if you know who the players are, what their motivations are, and what they're thinking about. You might also ask that question point blank. Are there other considerations in this process? Decisions are rarely made based on the obvious merits that are on the table. There are other factors. And the more you understand that and the more effective you are at identifying those factors, the more effective you'll be in making that decision favorable for you.